Hey, how's it going, team? So I'm excited because in this video, we get a chance to put what we've been learning into practice real time. I'm going to show you how the changing the aperture, the shutter speed, ISO, and even the white balance affect your images real time. One of the things I want to challenge you to do is to start thinking critically, right? Don't overthink the technical with the settings and all those type of things. Just start thinking about what is your outcome. And okay, so here is my outcome. I'm in an inside environment. I need to be able to get good light in here. Okay, I'm in a darker situation. What do I need to do with my settings? I need to adjust my settings to let in more light. What are the elements on your camera to let in more light? And then you can kind of start changing those elements in order to create that effect. And a lot of the time, like I told you, you'll be able to develop a sense of, hey, you know what? I'm in this room. This looks a little dark. Okay, I need to be at around, you know, if your lens go down to 2.8, I need to be around 2.8. If you're shooting more than one person, you might want to be at more so like a 5.6 so you can have everybody in focus. So start thinking about all of those elements. Where is your light in the room? That also makes a difference. So in this particular environment, our light is this big old window right here, right? So where would I want to have my subject if I can help it? Do I want to have my subject with her back to this big window? Or do I want to have my back to the window and allow this light to cast down on the subject, okay? So all of those type of things you want to start thinking about, as well as, okay, creatively, yes, I want to be able to let in more light, but do I want to have a blurry background, a more out of focus background, or do I want to let in more light and have a more in focus background, okay? All right, so got it? So now looking at this particular image, as you can see, my shutter speed is at 160. The aperture is at f4 and the ISO is at 100. So what do we need to change in order to bring up the light levels, okay? All right, got 2 seconds, okay? All right, so the answer is, what are you trying to create creatively? Just like I just mentioned, okay? So if I want to keep some of the elements in focus behind my subject, then maybe I don't want to sacrifice having to take my aperture down. Or maybe your lens doesn't go past 4.0 or 5.6. So let's take this lens, since it's a zoom lens, a lot of times people don't have a fixed aperture lens. So I'm gonna take this up to 5.6, okay? So now we can't go down lower than this. So what are some other elements that I can use, right? We can use our shutter speed at this point, okay? So now, with the camera being on the tripod, you don't have to worry about having to set your shutter speed to the longest distance of the lens, because this tripod is stabilizing our shot so that we don't have to worry about so much shape unless your subject is moving, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and just take this down to, let's just say 100. That didn't really do too much, okay? So the other element that we can use is our trusty ISO, because what's happening when we use the ISO, the higher this number is making the camera more sensitive to light, okay? So let's just see what that looks like to change the ISO. So this is at 160, 200, 250, 320, 400, okay? 500, 640, 800, 1,000, okay? So at 1,000, this is a little too bright, so now we can actually start to make sure we can change our shutter speed back up to adjust for that. So it really becomes a nice little dance between your different settings based off of what effect that you're trying to create. So another thing that I'm going to show you too, if I wanted to shoot at a higher shutter speed, right? Let's just say I was indoors at, you know, taking pictures of your son's or daughter basketball game, that type of thing, somebody that's moving, and I want to be able to capture that action and even freeze that action. A higher shutter speed is what's going to give you the option to freeze that action so that your shots are not blurry from motion blur, right? If you wanted to drag your shutter, if you wanted the shots to be artistic and out of focus a little bit, you would keep a lower shutter speed. With that movement, when somebody's moving with a lower shutter speed, it's going to create motion, it's going to create blur. But if we want to stop that action and freeze it, the higher the shutter speed, the more likely you're able to do that. So now let's take our shutter speed up to, let's just say 1640, all right? Now this looks dark to me, okay? So the only other option we have left in this circumstance, especially if our lens is a very aperture lens, so it means it's just not gonna go past 5.6 once we start zooming in. So now I'm gonna change our ISO. So this is what I was talking about. With a good camera, you can start to get away with higher ISO. Let's just see how high the ISO goes on this camera. Wow, 51,200, which at this point we can't even see what the subject is. And I can promise you this, even if it was in good focus, the amount of grain in this image will be crazy. Okay, so we don't want it to be that high up, okay? So if we take it to about, let's just say 8,000, or maybe even 6,400, we would still need to adjust our aperture to let in a little bit less light, okay? So let's do that. So now this is about 7.1, okay? So as you can see, we've changed all of our elements to be able to create, to let in less light or more light. So once again, it's really a dance between what you're trying to create, okay? And ultimately the creative effect that you're trying to create. So once again, with me being at 7.1, I take this photo. All right, let's take the photo here. Okay, as you can see, we can make out pretty much everything that's in the background. We have a painting on the wall. We have a lamp here on the side. Looks like it's a can or some kind of light or something in the back there. Okay, so now if I change the aperture, let's just say I wanted the background to completely disappear where the person is in focus and most of the background is out of focus. If you have the opportunity, if you don't have the opportunity to change the aperture on your lens, another way that you can make the background out of focus is to zoom into your subject. So if you have a zoom lens, so right now we are at 100, okay? So this is 135. If I take this same shot, as you can see, let's just back up so we can try to create the same frame with the elements that's in the background so you can see even, okay? And as you can see, those elements are a little bit more out of focus. Let's just get this lamp over here in the shot so you can kind of see the difference between the two, right? Zoomed in and not zoomed in. So it's a big difference, okay? Now, let's just say you've spent a little cash on a lens that's a little faster, right? Now you have the option to change your aperture to a lower setting. So let's change our aperture down, okay, to 2.8. So as you can see on the screen, this is way too bright, okay? So now we can start reducing our ISO, right? Because we don't need that much light. So now at about 1250, this looks pretty cool to me. If we take that same shot, as you can see now, that background is a little bit more blurred. And if we zoom in once again, 135, back up a little bit, and let's take this shot. As you can see, the elements that are in focus and the elements that are out of focus. All right, so this was just a quick setup for the shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. So now really quickly, let's look at the white balance. So right now, this white balance is at about 4,700, which, like I said, I typically shoot a little cooler with my images because that's the feel that I like. If you wanted your white balance to be warmer, okay, you would need to take that number up closer to daylight. Let's just look at 5,600. So this is at 5,600. As you can see, it's a lot warmer than it was at 4,700. If I take this number up some more to 6,800, it's going to be even warmer. Right? So if you like that effect, that's what you need to do, change that white balance up. Now, if you were really doing something crazy, if you were shooting at a lower Kelvin, which is about 3,600, 3,300, as you can see, this is completely blue, okay? So, like I said, this was just a quick demonstration of how changing your different elements play and affect your image. And it really comes down to your creative control over what the outcome that you wanted to make. Are you wanting the background to be blurred? Are you wanting more things to be in focus? Are you okay with taking your ISO up? Does your camera do a good job of having higher ISOs and still being able to maintain a good clean image? If so, yes, you can play around with your shutter speed and your actual aperture to be able to create those different effects. But you can see between the different settings, you can definitely change one or the other to create the same levels of exposure, okay? We'll do some more creative things that you can do with these elements later on in the course. But for now, this is just a quick and dirty to show you how those elements change with you changing those settings. All right, I'll see you in the next video.